Hey guys, Wade Willis here for Wade's Weeb Reviews, talking to you guys today about My Teen Romantic Comedy, episode 10 for this climax season. Now, this was the prom episode that all of us have been kind of looking forward to. We thought a ton of things were going to happen in it, and some things happened in it. And guys, before I move on, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to my page. It helps out a ton. But yeah, prom episode starts off, Hickey, we find out that he is going to be working sound. Initially, like, he was going to work reception, I believe, and everyone knows that would be a horrible idea if he was the first person that everyone's meeting in the prom. So, great moving him to the back in sound. He works a lot better behind the scenes. There's a scene with Hachiman and Yukino. They're finally kind of talking it out, and Iroha kind of like calls him out, like, hey, looks like we don't need a mediator in between you guys. And Hachiman's like, well, yeah, we're talking about work. And then Iroha, she's working the sound with him, but she's kind of going all over the place too, because this is her event. And she's kind of asking Hachiman about the future of the service club, which he's telling her doesn't look like it's going to happen, basically. And she lets him know that there's going to be an open position in the student council and she would like him to do it. He tells her, yeah, well, that sounds like a Yukino job. Like, she would be really into that, which she tells him I was going to offer that to her. And then if she takes it, I'll just fire the vice president, which is such a Iroha thing to do. I like it. And then the flirtiness in their relationship is pretty amazing. And it's something that is definitely, now there is that attraction and just raw chemistry between him and Yukino, but Iroha and him have this weird playfulness that he doesn't have with the other girls. That now that I'm watching this, guys, if you guys watch my other videos, Yui is my favorite in this. She's one of my favorite. She's like top tier for best girl, like, ever for me. I know some of you guys don't like her, but I'm a huge fan. I am truly believing that Iroha might actually be the best fit for Hachiman. And I've almost given up on the whole Yui thing, even though she is my favorite. So, and in part of this exchange with him, which kind of solidified my opinion with this, she kind of is trying to sell him on the student council thing. And she's like, oh, well, yeah, you'll just have the demands, have to live up to the demands of, like, your cute junior, or cute demands of your cute junior, and then you'll end up in a convenient relationship. And she kind of like goes over him, like she's almost, I mean, she's kind of hitting on him, but it's in her way where it's flirty, because as soon as he would say anything back, you know, she would be like, oh, or have you been trying to hit on me this whole time, sumimasen, like, kind of apologizing that she can't get with him, but she really does want to. But yeah, she's kind of like making the moves on him a bit, and in his head he says, yeah, if she actually seriously told me that she wanted me to join the student council, there's no way that I would be able to basically say no. And he appreciates that she actually is giving him, like, the option and trying to sell him on it, as opposed to, like, hey, I need your help. Because how his character is, he's just gonna jump in. And he really appreciates that with her. So, next, there's other stuff that's going on at the prom. Some banter back and forth with him and Yukino. Not, to me, super important. Or, I mean, we see that they're thanking each other and stuff like that. But then, Hachiman and Yui end up dancing, and it's kind of cute. And at the end of it, she kind of like rubs her face on his shoulder. And to me, I feel like that's kind of signifying her kind of accepting, maybe I'm wrong if you guys see something else, but it's her kind of savoring this moment with him, because I think she sees that he's not going to end up with her. But that's just my opinion. As much as I like her, he really doesn't have the chemistry with her that he does with Yukino or Iroha. That's my opinion now, and I still like her the best. I would be super pumped if she ended up with him, but that's just how it is. So at some point in the episode, a little bit later, Hiratsuka Sensei like mentions to Hachiman like, "Oh, I wanted to dance too," which all this stuff when it's Hiratsuka Sensei and Hachiman kind of like when she jokes like flirting with him, I'm huge fan. I would also ship Hiratsuka Sensei and Hachiman as well. They're kind of at the prom. They're kind of ending things up. They're in this classroom. Yukino's mom comes in with Haruno, and Yukino's mom tells Yukino that, hey, the event was good. Yukino's thanking her. It's this back and forth circle jerk between them two. Oh, thank you. Oh, it was great. Oh, I'm so glad you enjoyed it. Thank you for your help. All that BS. And Yukino finally does tell her with Haruno she kind of lubes up the situation for her and is like, hey, like basically saying like, oh, this is something kind of like dad does. And then Yukino kind of drops a bomb like, hey, I'm interested in maybe taking over everything as opposed to Haruno. Now, if you guys don't remember, he is like I believe a construction CEO, and he's a member of the Chiba Diet as well. So homie is a big deal. And I actually had to like look it back up because I'm like, what does he do that's similar to running a prom? I mean, I guess the Chiba Diet stuff and running a business, there are a lot of moving parts, but I was kind of like, and maybe there's something else that I didn't know, but like I kind of researched in that from what I saw in multiple sources, that is what he does, those two things. So, I mean, I guess you can kind of relate it to a prom, but I don't know. I was kind of not totally on board with that. So Haruno kind of stays with, the trio, and she ends up telling Yukino like, hey, like after all the years of being groomed and stuff, like you can't expect me to just give this stuff up nonchalantly, and tells her that basically that it just this event isn't gonna do it, which makes sense. And Yukino realizes it, but I don't think going into the event she realized this really isn't going to matter that much. I guess she more needed to do it for herself, but leading into the event it seemed like she thought this would be a bigger deal to her mom than it would be, which she planned a prom. I mean, there's a lot that goes into it, and it's difficult to do, but for taking over a huge like construction company, and like he's in the like Chiba Diet, I don't know how running a prom even is like a tip of the iceberg, especially when you think about like Haruno. And Haruno brings this up a bunch of times, like not to the group or some to the group, but also she meets with Hachiman after she tells them this stuff, and basically is like, yeah, she brings up 20 years. I've been going through this 20 years. I mean, she's been getting groomed her whole life, but like the experience, let's be real, you don't get real experience running anything like that till you're, I don't know, 14 maybe. at the best 10. Maybe her dad was taking her through all these things, but I mean, really probably 6 solid years of experience, maybe seeing things and planning things, and Yukino's done. I mean, really this whole year with the service group or service club is a big deal, but compared to, I mean, even if I'm kind of being rude and taking away a lot of the years, Haruno, like, let's just say 6 years if we start her at the age of 14, because I believe she's supposed to be 20. But it's still a huge difference, and Yukino, really the one thing that she planned on her own, there's one event, and it's this prom. So she's done a lot of other things behind the scenes, but prom is like the big thing that's hers. So I kind of agree with Haruno, even though the 20-year thing, I'm pushing back a little bit on 20 years, even though she has been getting groomed her whole life. So I understand her perspective. Then Yukino, once Haruno leaves the group, Yukino kind of tells them, like, hey, I think if we end this is the best time to do it. Yui kind of wants it to continue. Nothing's changed, and nothing changes also because Hachiman just dips out, so he's not going to really make a real decision. As he's leaving, Yukino kind of stops him, like he's in a hall, and she like grabs his suit jacket, and she tells him at one point, like, she's thanking him for everything that he's done, because really he has done a lot they've done a lot for each other, but she's grown a lot because of him, and she's thanking him for this and says, for now on, I'm going to work harder to do better on my own. And then she's trying to say more, and he's like, yeah, I know, I get it. And he tries to leave, and she's still holding onto his jacket. And at this point, again, guys, if you've seen my other videos, I'm not the biggest Yukino fan. I feel like her personality, how she doesn't feel comfortable in her own skin, really, is, even though she's cute and I like her, she's intelligent, nice girl, not the best person to date. You're going to be dealing with a lot of baggage in those situations. Not a huge fan. Out of any girl in the show, she's close to my last pick of someone I would say, yeah, dude, date her. Because there's a lot going on that you're going to be dealing with, and just not comfortable. So so I don't feel that strongly about her dating anyone, especially Hachiman, who I really like. And she's holding on to his suit jacket, and even I was like, dude, come on, kiss her. Because she just, like, it was the perfect time, I felt like, for them to kiss. And I'm not even a shipper of them as a relationship, but it was a perfect time. He, like, goes to, like, grab her hand, and I'm like, oh, he's gonna do it. Oh my gosh, finally someone is gonna kiss in this show. Like, I was pumped, even though, again, I'm not a shipper of them. And then he just peels off her hand, one finger by one finger, which is the most epic of, like, that's a mic drop right there. And then just says, later. That's where he runs into Haruno. She's basically telling him, like, hey, you're getting drunk off of this thing. You're drinking your own Kool-Aid, which is, in my opinion, a reference to the codependency of their relationship and how she sees it. And she just keeps again, she's been referring to all of this stuff as fake over and over again, and it's not real. And the more I've, like, watched this, and I've watched some episodes over again, I've older episodes over again, and I feel like, and I've had people comment, I think it was someone, not last week, but the week before, really gave, like, a heartfelt opinion on how they see Haruno, and I can't remember who it was that commented the name, but thank you for that, because up to this point, I've been looking at her in kind of a negative, manipulative way, which she is manipulative, but she does love Yukino, and she is worried about her just depending on someone because Yukino's dependent on her the whole time. And I believe that she has gone through a lot in her own. And based on her character, she's so intelligent and she's never had like an equal relationship. So the fact that this group of three, she doesn't see it as something that can actually exist where it's not just codependency. So now I really understand a lot more where she is coming from, I think. So thank you to the person who commented in that. That was actually really well thought out, and it made me second guess some things, and I actually went back and watched some more stuff, and I think I understand Haruno a bit more because of that. She ends up dipping out. Then Hiratsuka Sensei shows up, basically makes Hachiman ride with her. She starts just going ham, hitting baseballs at a batting cage almost for no reason. And then she's at a bar with him, and he tells her about Haruno, talking about the codependency. And she says, yeah, I can see how people see it that way, but do you really think you can sum up all of your relationship in just one word? And this is, I mean, one of the many reasons why I love Hiratsuka Sensei. The way she sees things, she really sees the big picture and in a deeper way. And really, she's been the puppet master this whole time. She made like these kids get together because she saw potential, and it was really she saw potential in all three, but it was really Yukino and Hachiman that she was trying to like build up. And then Yui got in there, and she also grew a lot as a person as well. Each of them have really developed as characters and people, and that's what makes this show so good. And I'm glad someone finally said the codependency thing is kind of BS. Now I do see, like I said, I do see where Haruno is worried about Yukino because, one, like, I agree with her, you can't just give up the company because someone ran a prom. Like, Yukino hasn't earned it. And Yukino has spent her life basically copying Haruno, and then she started copying Hachiman because she felt like he was way more intelligent, which I feel like the way he can see things is some next level shit. So she is worried about her in that way. They do depend on each other in different things because each of them has different strengths. But because they've worked with each other, they've all grown as people and continue to grow as people. So the codependency thing, well, there is some truth to it. It is so much more complex than that. And like, I like all three of them together, and I hope the show, again, I haven't read any of my teen romantic comedy. I've just been watching the anime. I hope that they end up, continuing to work with each other in the service club. I hope that, well, I like the service club, but I hope that it ends up that they don't have that fake friendship. But they've really gone through a lot, and I'm unsure if it's going to make it through all of this stuff. But I really hope it does. Guys, there's only 2 episodes left. How did you guys think about this episode? How are you guys liking this season so far? I honestly feel like season 2 is a bit better than this season, but I am a huge fan of this. They are doing a great job, and it's made me really think about things and think back to when I was in high school and college and how relationships I had with maybe significant others or just friends, how things blossomed and how things fizzled out. It shows, as good as it gets for slice of life and romance. So, but yeah, guys, comment your thoughts, and I'm Wade Willis. Hey guys, this is Wade Willis. Thanks for watching my video. Here's 2 other videos I think you might like, and don't forget to subscribe to my page.